Hi, this psych skill is on automatic thoughts and how we can change them. And this is one of the core things that we teach in healed mind therapy is to look for the automatic thoughts, to see the triggers, and to be able to shift them. That is the core of what CBT is, changing the thoughts to have effect on their emotions and behaviors. So this is going to be, I'm going to take you on the whiteboard. And just going to be a short education on what automatic thoughts are, and then some advice on how we can reprogram our brain so that we no longer have automatic thoughts that cause our suffering, but rather we're able to have automatic thoughts or from the healed mind that can bring us peace and make us invulnerable in the world. All right, let me share. Okay, so I'm going to start with this color here. So automatic thoughts. Oh, does it want me to do it? Oh, technology is wonderful. I'm wonderful. It's all good. Okay. It's not letting me. I'm not going to be able to write on it. That's okay. We're going to flow with this. So automatic thoughts are a stream of thoughts that come into your mind, usually responsive to a situation. So we have this thought that they do something, and this is an indicator that we're not lovable. So anytime we have maladaptive automatic thoughts, that's the thought that we've been triggered. Okay, so we're having this thought, I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, they don't care about me, they don't understand me. And the core of that is that I'm not enough. And that's the core belief. So when we're looking at this diagram, automatic thoughts are just like the top of the iceberg. So when someone attacks you or they get triggered or you get triggered or attack somebody else, that's just like the little bit of it, right? The truth is that you also have rules for living, and then you have core beliefs. And the core belief, which everyone that's kind of exposed to healed mind therapy probably knows, is this thought that you're not lovable, that you're not worthy, that you're not enough. And that core belief will feed the rules for living and the automatic thoughts. Now, the automatic thoughts, they come, they're automatic. They just, you don't have to think to have them. They just come. They're often based on our conditioning from our childhood. And the foundation of them will be the core belief. So when we have core belief, I'm not lovable, we will have automatic thoughts. They don't love me. They don't care about me. I have to be a certain way for me to be enough. So you'll be quite familiar with the emotions that you have related to your automatic thoughts. And so be able to identify, what are my automatic thoughts? What do I tell myself? When I look in the mirror, what do I tell myself? When somebody doesn't text me back, what do I tell myself? When I drop blueberries on the kitchen floor, what do I tell myself? So our conditioning from our childhood, which causes the core belief that leads to the rules for living, will cause the automatic thoughts. So to go a little bit deeper, automatic thoughts are not necessarily bad. You could have a growl in your stomach and then have the automatic thought, oh, I'm hungry. So it's meaning you've attached to experience or situations, but meaning is not necessarily negative. It's only when it's causing us suffering that it's a maladaptive automatic thought. And anytime you are being triggered or you're having suffering in your life, that's a sign that you've missed the mark and that you're not quite in alignment with the truth. Because if you were, you'd have peace. So the rules for living or assumptions that we have are this idea that I need to be a certain way for me to be enough. And then this is the rule I need to have. So an example I have on here, I'm just going to pull this right up. So if X, then Y. So if I look like this, then everyone will love me. For example, if I'm thin, I will be loved by others. That's one example. Or if I am quiet, people won't reject me. If I act confident, even though I'm not, everyone will think I'm amazing. So inauthenticity, we can have any kind of rule. So looking at your life and your psychology and what kind of rules you've set up for yourself where you believe that if you do this, then you're going to have this. These are assumptions. So they're assumptions based on our conditioning. They're actually from our core belief, right? And then the automatic thoughts may also be related to these beliefs that we have or these assumptions that we have. So dysfunctional core beliefs basically is the what drives those rules for living or those assumptions, and then also drives the automatic thoughts. So if I am thin, I will be loved by others, may drive obsessive thinking about one's body, eating disorders, excessive exercise. The core beliefs are often formed in childhood, and then they get solidified by our society will solidify our trauma and so our perception that, if this, then this, right? And then that will reinforce this thought, I'm not lovable. So you might have, a parent that's not really present because they're struggling with their mental health, but as a child, you don't realize that. And then when you become an adult, you might, end up with partners that struggle with addiction or being avoidant or pulling away, and that's normalized for you. And you believe that you expect that, so you won't have the boundary because you think you're not enough, because you think you're not lovable. So, although our automatic thoughts are associated with specific triggers, the core beliefs are basically permeate your whole life. And this is why, whether it's an addiction, whether you're struggling with your emotions or anger, your relationships, codependency, self-care or healthy eating, your body, your career, money, all of them, if you don't love yourself at that core, that's going to affect every area of your life. And this is why it seems really simple, when I say if you're triggered, you're feeling unloved. Someone else is triggered, they're feeling unloved. But the truth is, it's that core belief down the bottom of that iceberg that's really the issue that we have to heal, because it's all this hidden stuff that by healing this, the automatic thoughts are no longer there, right? So sinking that whole iceberg so it doesn't exist anymore. So just to expand a little bit more on the automatic thoughts, and how we're going to change this. Okay, so every situation requires some degree of meaning making and interpretation, and that means all the meaning everything has is the meaning we give it. So if you have a situation happen, there's going to be some meaning applied to it. Now, automatic thoughts are going to just give you from your conditioning. So because of this, every waking moment is affected by your control and awareness over your automatic thoughts. Okay, this is the way out too. So automatic thoughts can come in the form of words, images, intuitions, physical sensations. We often don't examine them. So most people don't look, oh, what's my automatic thought right now that's causing me suffering? And that's one of the benefits of getting into therapy. We don't need therapy forever, but we need to learn these skills so that we can do self-therapy. And hopefully this course is going to be going to give you all those skills in order for you to be doing this work as well. So unexamined, we just accept them as fact and not understood that they may be distorted or inaccurate. I need to be this for me to be enough. If my house is not immaculate, I'm unworthy, right? So that could be another example of an automatic thought. Or that would be a rule for living. The automatic thought would be, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I have to clean this house now. That'd be the automatic thought. The rule for living would be, if my house is messy, then I'm not enough. And then the core belief is I'm unlovable. I'm unlovable unless, right? There's conditions to your lovability. So automatic thoughts are also unconscious, outside of awareness. Sometimes it's just a feeling. Sometimes it's just your stomach, the anxiety. But you can usually tap a thought to it, even if you can't identify that right away. They become believable because you repeat it so much. So even when I tell people like, you're lovable, they've told themselves over and over and over again, maybe you're one of those people, that they're not lovable, and that makes it believable because they're just so mentally consumed by this thought and been hearing it for so long. When someone else says, hey, you're lovable, you're enough, it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense to me, that doesn't fit. And then quality of life. So when it determines how we're going to experience life. So there's things outside of our control, like other people, the weather, if your car breaks down, but within your control is your perception, your thoughts, and your emotions and your actions, right? So in this particular situation, we're talking about automatic thoughts. And then the way out of change, how do you change your automatic thoughts, right? And that's something I get asked a lot. I think I closed that. Something I get asked a lot. And the reason for that is because as you will be exposed to this content, you can see the path out. You can even experience it at times where you're like able to shift your perception. You're able to have compassion. You're able to feel peace and you feel great. And then, 8 times out of 10, you have those automatic thoughts and you get triggered. And it's like, is this real? How am I going to get out of this? And the The main thing is that consciousness. We are often unconscious of our automatic thoughts. We have to become conscious that we're having automatic thoughts, see them, and then do the shift. Give the correction. Say, hey, okay, is that true? Whenever you have a thought, is that true? The way to do this is to increase your meditation, your mindfulness moments, breath work, anything where you're stopping and looking at your thoughts. So these can happen in the mirror, it can happen in a journal, anywhere we're bringing consciousness to our thoughts, asking, is this true? And then shifting to the true thought. This is how we recondition our brain. This is how we reparent ourselves. This is the way that we learn self-compassion, self-love, and love for others, and to not be in to become invulnerable in the world by no longer needing anything outside of us to be different for us to have peace.